Well, let me take a moment here and just kind of talk to you a little bit about the concept of personal development. I went back in about 1984, 1985, sometime just after I became a pastor. I was doing some reading, devotional type of things, and some reading, trying to grow in my ministry. And I read, about the idea that that I ought to take that as a preacher, I ought to spend some time daily in personal development ideas, and part of that is going to be, the idea of learning my Bible, studying my Bible, having personal devotions, having a walk with God, and all those kind of things. But included in those personal development tips was the idea of things that would cause personal growth in me, things like physical exercise, and bike riding fits in that. That's why this fits in with the fitness cycling theme of that I'm trying to keep up with, and because the idea of physical exercise, and then and making that a part of your regular routine, having that physical exercise. If the body's healthy, it makes the mind healthier. And then, of course, doing some learning things that are not directly related to your line of work. So I'm a pastor. Learning some things that are not, directly Bible studies, but other kinds of things to learn, personal interest things. And then one of the other things that it suggested, I remember, was the idea of developing friendships with people who are professionals and not necessarily members of the church that I pastor, but who are professionals. They didn't necessarily have to be non-Christians, but it suggested that they not necessarily be Christians either. If I remember right, the first place that I remember learning about this or hearing this idea was from a book on preaching and by Warren Wiersbe, I think. And he gave the example of having a friend who was a physician, a doctor, but that was a Jew, not a believer, not a Christian in our sense, but was a Jewish man. And just that kind of relationship that can feed the soul, can feed the mind, but isn't directly tied to a person's own work. So far, over the years, that part really hasn't materialized. All of the years that I've been in the ministry, I've tried to keep up a good physical exercise, although I will confess that my exercise routines haven't always been as consistent as they should be, nor have they been as successful, I guess. Sometimes just the exercise has been insufficient to really to do the good that it needed to do. And so, but the biking fits in with that. But I've never been able to really find and make that long-term connection with someone who's not in some way associated with my ministry. I know several people and would consider that I have friendships with several people who are not in my church or not even Christians, but not ones where we maintain a super close contact. But I do think of the bike riding as one of those things that is a part of my personal development. It's part of my, I call it my daily visit with God, that I spend time every day with God in His Word and in prayer and writing, those kind of things, writing down what God is teaching me and so forth. But the bike riding I do consider part of that personal development and that devotional time.